Welcome to the third episode of this series, in which we talk to you about Al-Quds, about its true story, its history, its pain, its suffering, its hopes, its past, present, and future. The story of Al-Quds is as long as history, so we need dozens and perhaps hundreds of episodes to give you all the details. Perhaps many do not know that the holy city throughout its long history was besieged by enemies more than 20 times, was subjected to military attack more than 50 times, and was occupied more than 40 times. And every time it recovered and was restored by its people. No matter how many invaders and occupiers pass through Al-Quds, every occupation fleets and Al-Quds remains forever. In the year 637 AD, 16 AH, the second Caliph Omar bin Khattab conquered Al-Quds, returning it to its warm embrace, to how it should be. Did I not tell you before that Al-Quds existed centuries ago and that the jewel of its crown, Al-Aqsa Mosque, was present before those who came to talk excessively about narratives with no evidence of the existence of temples? I told you that Al-Quds belongs to the people of the one message that came from heaven and was conveyed by all the prophets to humanity. This is what Umar bin Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, did. He restored it to its rightful place and status, after many years of Roman oppression which wreaked havoc and corruption in it. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, entered Al-Quds humbly to cleanse it of those who had defiled it. Before I touch on those events that Al-Quds experienced under the oppression of the many occupations that it went through, I will tell you about a topic that you may not have heard about before. And some of you may have heard about it but didn't realize its deep importance and historical value. I will tell you about the Omar Covenant or the Omar Pact. So what is Omar Covenant and what is its importance for Al-Quds? When Umar bin Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, received the keys of Al-Quds from Patriarch Sephorinus, he gave its Christian people a covenant that they still keep to this day, and its impact is still evident in Al-Quds to this day. I present to you one of the most famous texts of this covenant, noting that there are other variations of this text mentioned in different sources, but they all have one meaning. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This is what Allah's servant, the commander of the faithful Umar, gave the people of Elijah: security. He gave them security for themselves, their money, their churches, their crosses, the sick, the innocent, and the rest of their sect. Their churches will not be inhabited, nor they will be demolished. Nothing will be taken from it or its area, nor their space, nor their crosses, nor any of their money will be diminished. They will not be forced to leave their religion, and none of them will be harmed, and none of the Jews will live with them in Elijah. The people of Elijah must pay the tribute as the other people of Palestine give, on the condition that they must expel the Romans and thieves from it. Whoever lives among them is safe for himself, his property, and his money until they reach their place of safety. And whoever stays among them is safe, and he must pay the same tribute as the people of Elijah. Whoever of the people of Elijah wishes to take his property and leave with the Romans, and emptying their church and their cross, they are safe on themselves, on their church, and on their cross until they reach their place of safety. Whoever of its people wants to remain there may do so, provided that he pays the tribute like all people of Elijah. Whoever wants to go with the Romans and whoever wants to return to his land, no tribute will be taken from them until they reap their harvest. Based on what is in this book, Allah's covenant and the covenant of the Messenger of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, the covenant of the caliphs and the covenant of the believers, if they give the tribute they owe. The most important things mentioned in the historical document are: he gave them security for themselves, their property, and their churches. Their churches will be not destroyed. Nothing will be taken from it or from its area. They will not be forced to leave their religion. The people of Al-Quds must pay a tribute in exchange for their safety. The Romans and thieves will be removed from the city. They will be safe until they settle outside it. But whoever wishes to reside in Al-Quds, they must also pay the tribute. They will not be forced to pay tribute until harvest time. Finally, no Jews live with them. This last item you might call in today's terms the security sense or the preservation of the public interest. Now, may I ask, do you find in history a victor who makes such pledges to the defeated? Just compare this with the Inquisition that the Spanish held for Muslims and Jews in Indonesia, and compare this with what the people of Al-Quds and Palestine were exposed to during the time of the Crusaders and what they are exposed to today due to the Israeli occupation. See you in the next episode.